Number of Americans are dipping into their retirement savings right now. And while the money may provide a financial buffer for emergencies, most financial experts don't recommend pulling money out of these accounts early. So joining us this morning to help break it all down is Calhoun with OpenAir Advisers. Good morning, Ken. Thanks so much for being here with us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start here. Why are we seeing more people tap into their retirement savings right now?
Well, put simply, prices are up and wages aren't. And as people continue to need to find ways to pay for everyday essentials or deal with an emergency, it can become very tempting to tap into this pile of money that you've collected over the years that you haven't otherwise utilized. So with that, it's very common to have that itch to go ahead and dip into that with the idea that you'll deal with the consequences of that later.
And you've created a bit of doubt here. So why do experts say pulling from a 401k early should really be a last resort?
The biggest thing is just the penalties and the taxes, right? So if you're under the age of 60, if you pull money out of your 401k, you're not only going to pay ordinary income taxes, but you're also going to be faced with a 10% penalty. So you're losing 10% right off the bat, and then you're going to have to pay taxes on top of that. Not to mention that if you, by pulling money out of that, you're actually losing some of the advantages of allowing that money to compound and grow over an extended period of time without any tax consequences. So, and it's not easy to put the money back. You really can't. So that's why so many experts, myself included, really encourage people to not tap into taking 401k assets, particularly early in their careers and lives.
And I feel like not a lot of people know that. So what are some smarter options for people who may really be in a bind for cash then?
Sure. There's several other things that you can look at, including other ways to monetize your 401k. So the biggest one is a 401k loan. When you take a loan rather than a distribution, these details matter. Yes, you have to pay it back. Yes, you have to pay interest, but you're borrowing from yourself. So as you're paying that money back, as you're paying interest on that loan, that's effectively getting put back into your retirement plan. Other things to do is definitely have an emergency savings. My recommendation is somewhere between 2 and 3 months worth of expenses that you can tap into at any time with no penalty. And the last is looking at home equity, right? If you've got a lot of home equity, you can look to take a home equity line of credit out in order to help take care of some of those emergencies. And that's a little bit more tax advantageous than dipping into your 401k.
And you mentioned this a little earlier, but I really want to give you the opportunity to drive this home. If someone is at the point where they feel like they really have no other choice, what do they need to understand before they take that money out of that 401k?
They need to have a very firm understanding that you're not going to be able to put this money back. And you're also going to pay extra in penalties and taxes, right? So you're going to be taxed on the full amount you take. After that number's been calculated, they're going to take 10% of that money on top of it. So in many cases, for you to get the money that you need, you're going to be taking anywhere from 10 to 30% more than you actually need in order to help cover the taxes and penalties associated with the transaction.
Really important information there. Ken, thank you again so much for being here this morning, and we'll have more after the break.